Hi everyone, welcome back to My Parenting Way. My name's Katie and today I'm going to talk to you about eco-friendly disposable nappies. How eco-friendly actually are they? Are they good value for money? How are they to actually use? And my rating at the end of how good they are as an actual nappy. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I've had a bit of a burnout when it comes to the reusable nappies. With all the cleaning and washing and drying and planning, making sure you have enough on what day, making sure that the nursery has enough and all the rest of it, I was finding myself starting to resent using them slightly, so I gave myself a bit of a break. But with the disposable nappies I decided to buy, I really wanted to make sure that my money was going into something that was a bit more eco-friendly. So I started doing the research. I bought 6 different types of nappies that I'm going to review today. So I hope you found this useful. So the first one I'm going to review today is Mum&You Nappy Chat Eco-Friendly Nappies. Now the size newborn to size 2, so that's what the first size tends to come as, is newborn size 2, costs around 23p per nappy. Obviously if you get this on sale and things like that, they'll be cheaper, but generally as a normal size pack that you might get off the shelf, 23p per nappy. So this nappy boasts that it has 100% recyclable packaging and 30% of the actual nappy is made out of recyclable materials. It also claims it's got chlorine-free wood pulp that makes the majority of this nappy. Now the website actually says that the core is made out of biodegradable materials, but it doesn't go into what that actually means or any more information. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think any disposable nappy is 100% biodegradable at the moment, so I couldn't quite get a grasp of what they meant by that. Now, as far as a nappy is concerned, I really like the really bright colours, but actually I'm not too bothered about bright colours as a nappy personally. I don't care if it's just white or one colour. It does boast that it can create a bit of a conversation between you and your baby, like pointing to the colours and the animals and stuff, which is fine, you know. It's a nappy. It does have the wetness indicator. So if you look at, there's a really faint line, you might not be able to see it in the camera. But I don't find this actually very user-friendly with this nappy because it's almost clouded by the other amount of colour. So, you know, if you use it, then you might want to consider another nappy, but I never use the wetness indicator. So, you know, each to their own. Now I actually found this quite a nice nappy to use. It's quite light. The amount of stretchiness in the band is quite good, and the top of the band is quite wide, and it comes up the back quite well. So if your baby is used to big poo explosions, I did find it caught that quite nicely. And yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's a pretty good nappy, and overall I gave it a 4 out of 5. Next up is the Little Stories by Boots. So if you live in the UK, you'd understand that Boots is a huge sort of, it's got a pharmacy, it's got beauty products, it's got any kind of product like that. And they do their own baby range, and now they've brought out their own eco-friendly nappies, which I'm actually really, really chuffed to bits about, because it means that this is now starting to become the norm, and some of these bigger companies are starting to take on more eco-friendly versions of disposable nappies. So this is really exciting. It is also one of the cheapest nappy I was able to find in the sort of eco-friendly bracket. So for a size 1 nappy, this costs about 16p per nappy, which, as I said, one of the cheapest. So on the website, it suggests that there's bamboo fibres within the nappy, and the nappy contains 40% plant-based materials, which I thought was actually quite good. And the bamboo used to make the nappy is sustainably sourced. The packaging too is also made out of 40% plant-based material and is 100% recyclable. So with all these good things to boast about this nappy, is it actually a good nappy? So actually I found this nappy rather stiff, and I found that this bit here was actually really low. So my baby son had a really saggy bum when wearing it. It was sat really, really low, and I found it difficult to sort of mould around his bum as a result. I really like the fact that it's got a slightly springy band edge at the back. However, I found that these tabs came off a lot. And in some of the cases, I would go through one bag of these nappies and about 4 or 5 would just, as you're going to put it on the baby, would just rip right off in your hand, in which case you're then disposing of the nappy and you're thinking, well, that was a waste. You know, why did I buy these eco-friendly nappies if I'm getting through 5 nappies just to get a good, decent nappy, which is kind of defeating the object. So I'm really pleased with how much Boots have put in the effort to make this as eco-friendly as possible. But as far as a nappy is concerned, I didn't find it that user-friendly or useful. So I would say it was a 3 out of 5 for me with this nappy, but I feel like Boots have started a revolution with this and I'm really pleased. So keep up the good work. Hopefully this nappy will get better. Next up is Bambo Nature nappies. Now these nappies are a little bit more on the expensive side. So for a size 1 nappy, this cost about 27p per nappy. So it is a little bit more expensive. And the company concentrate on making their nappy making, the actual process of making the nappy, as eco-friendly as possible. They want to make the whole nappy making process as energy efficient as possible, and they look at the whole production process from the raw materials right up to the packaging and how to dispose of the packaging. But despite the name, the actual nappy itself is made from mostly wood pulp, and as a nappy, it's actually one of my favourites. It's really soft, really flexible, it's quite thin. It's like wearing a blanket. It is a super nice nappy to use. I think there was no leaks, it was completely fine. These were really hardcore. I gave them a really good tug and none of them ever fell off. It has the little wetness indicator at the front and it has a really basic design, so you know which is at the front because there's a little motif, and the wetness indicator goes all the way up the back. So I actually found this a really lovely nappy. Again, a little bit more on the expensive side, and I think they need to promote themselves more on how the nappy is actually disposed of and how eco-friendly it is in that sense. But otherwise, as a usable nappy, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 because I really liked it. Next up is Cat and Kin Eco Nappies. Now for a size 1 nappy, these cost about 20p per nappy. Again, very basic design. Again, they've got little faces. I think this one's got a koala. I think the other one comes in a monkey. So again, very basic, which I actually really like. I really like the basic white nappies personally. So this nappy has won a bunch of awards, and I know that it's a firm favourite for quite a lot of my friends who are quite eco-conscious. The core is made out of biogels according to their website. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it sounds quite fancy. Again, it's made up of mostly chlorine-free, sustainably sourced wood pulp, which all sounds quite good. So the top layer, the outer layer, the leg cuffs, all the packaging is made out of 100% sustainable materials, which again is all good in being a bit more sort of friendly to the planet. It's also been accredited by like 100 different companies about how good it is for the planet and how they've put in all their money towards making this as a sustainably friendly nappy and friendly to the environment as possible. Unlike the other nappies, it doesn't have a wetness indicator, but as already mentioned, I'm not that bothered about that because I personally don't use a wetness indicator. But if that's something that you use quite a lot, then it doesn't have one. It is lighter and thinner than most of the other eco-friendly nappies that I've used. So actually this is more like your typical disposable nappy. And actually we haven't got any leaks from it at all, despite it being sort of really light and thin. So actually I was pretty impressed with this nappy. I think it has to be my second most favourite. And again, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 in regards to usability and just really good as a nappy. So I thought I would also talk a bit more about sort of nappy pants rather than like the flap nappies. So I got a couple here that I thought you might be interested in. So these are cheeky Panda nappies, and I've picked one of the sort of pull-up pant nappies just to show you what they're like. Now these are a little bit more pricey as well, so they are 24p for size 1 nappies if you go for the nappies, so they are a little bit more on the pricey side. So just to give you a bit of a background, co-founders Chris and Julie noticed that there was a huge surplus of bamboo that was going to waste. So what they did is they turned that bamboo and decided to make nappies out of it, which I thought was quite clever. So the lining is 100% bamboo, and according to their website, they are working really hard on trying to make a 100% biodegradable nappy, which obviously no one has really made one yet that's 100% biodegradable. But yeah, watch this space. So with the actual nappy itself, it is a bulky nappy. It is really thick and chunky. So, and because of that, it's really soft. Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely nappy, and it does have the wetness indicator in case you need it, which you probably would have to do with this nappy because it's so flipping big. As far as the band is concerned, it's a really stretchy band. It's really good. I'm actually quite impressed with this nappy. The only thing is the bulk. So compared to the other nappies, which are quite light and easy to pack, these are really, really thick. So I don't think it really makes much difference, but I suppose if your baby is used to having reusable nappies and the bulkiness and thickness of reusable nappies, then this might be a good segue to using disposable occasionally. But as far as a nappy is concerned, my little boy found it really comfortable. We didn't have any leaks. I was quite happy with it. So overall, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5, mostly because of the amount of bulk that's in it, but otherwise it was all right. It was quite a good nappy. So last but not least, I thought I would do another nappy pant. This is Eco by Naty, or Naty, depending on how you say it. So if you buy these nappies directly from Eco by Naty themselves, they can actually come out but quite cheap. So they can come up at 18p per nappy if you buy the size 1. Of course, this doesn't include packaging and delivery, so you've got to add that cost to it as well if you end up buying them. So this company doesn't use any oil plastic based products in their nappies against the baby's skin. And again, like the other nappies, they aim to use renewable resources to make the nappies, and they're pumping all their money on finding new tech on how to make it environmentally better to not only make them nappies but store them and dispose of them. What I really liked about Eco by Naty is that all their information was actually really easy to find on their website. I actually found it really easy to find a full report on how they're trying to become more eco-friendly and more sustainable for the environment, which was really easy to find, and it was really clear, it was really transparent, and actually that was pretty damn good. So as far as the actual nappy is concerned, now I actually use these nappies, the actual tab nappies, with my daughter when she was a baby, and I found that the tabs, a bit like the Boots ones, kept coming off. So every time you would go to put it around the baby, the tab would just come off in your hand, in which case you would have to bin the whole nappy, which was a bit frustrating when you end up paying more for it to be, for you to have these sort of a bit better eco-friendly nappies and you end up binning a load. So the tabs, I hope in the time that I haven't used nappies for my daughter, and I hope that they've progressed in making the tabs a little bit stronger. Now I obviously haven't used the tabs, I haven't got any tabbed nappies today. I've chosen the pants to talk about today, but as far as the elastic around the side, it is a lot stiffer than the other ones that I have previously used. So there isn't a lot of give. However, what I did like is that they've got this, I don't know if you can see here very well, but you've got this sort of outer lining and then this inner sort of hugging which goes around the actual leg itself, and that hopefully prevents sort of big leaks. I haven't had any leaks with these yet at all. In that sense they're pretty good. They are a slightly bulkier nappy as well, so I found them a little bit less flexible, a little bit stiffer, and the elastic around the tummy is also a lot stiffer. So as far as comfort is concerned, it is something just to bear in mind. But as far as leaks are concerned, we haven't had any leaks yet. It doesn't have a wetness indicator either, but again, not bothered. And I do like the very simple little motifs of like front and back. So you've got the little whale there, which I thought was quite cute. So Yeah, as far as this is concerned, again, I would give it 3 out of 5, just because of the bulk, because of the lack of elasticity. But it is quite cheap to buy if you buy it directly from them in bulk, so that was quite good. So not a bad nappy, I just personally would probably choose others. So there you go, I hope you found that helpful. That was my video on my review on eco-friendly nappies, on how eco-friendly they actually are. I was quite surprised to learn how little of a eco-friendly nappy is actually sort of biodegradable and able to decompose quickly. I would have thought by this point a lot of nappies would jump ahead towards making it a bit more biodegradable and friendly for the environment in that respect. But watch this space. I hope there is lots of space for that to evolve, and there might be more nappies coming out like that in the future. But it always goes to say that the most eco-friendly way of nappying your child and using nappies is by using reusable nappies and washing them and drying them. So please bear that in mind. Please check out my other videos on reusable nappies that I've already posted. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you next time.